Hey, so,
Happy birthday a week ago.
oh, hey, thanks. A week ago from today, from when we're recording this.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Congratulations. You're old now.
thank you. I'm officially 21 years old.
Yep.
Yep.
Again.
That's what I do that for everybody like when I'm hosting trivia
Hmm?
and they're like, "Oh, it's so and so's birthday. Can you make an announcement?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everybody, so and so is turning 21 today. Give them a big round of applause." Always say 21. Doesn't matter how old they are. Well, unless they're not 21, but and they're not in the trivia. Um,
That's good job.
yeah. So yeah, other than that, I feel the same as I did 3 years ago. My body, anyways. I don't know if that means that I'm finally feeling my age, or if 3 years ago I was feeling much older than what I am.
Sure. Um, I have always felt that I will really hit my stride. Like I will settle into the age that I am inside sometime in like my 60s.
Fair,
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, and I'm sure it had something to do with the jobs that I've worked, but when I was 27, it just hit me like a wall. I remember specifically, I was laying in bed and I reached like a big stretch and I popped a rib out of place and I was down for like an entire day. And like the rest of the week, I had to very gingerly, I had to watch how I was moving like the whole next week. And I'm like, oh no, I'm only 27. This is bad.
I'm not laughing at you,
Yeah, right.
but I am laughing.
Oh, of course. It sucked. Welcome to Words Are Hard, a writing and editing podcast. I'm your host, Ramsey, the extrovert in charge of keeping the conversation flowing.
And I am Rachel, your other host who is trying to figure out the lighting.
Oh,
That's
good Lord.
that's no. Um, I am an editor, an indie author, and an educator of some sort in various
Yeah.
different
On
manners.
online academic.
Stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. And now stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Today's episode is all about fan fiction, which I know
I'm
you are just thrilled about.
so excited. I've
Um,
been waiting for months. I'm even wearing my Spock shirt tonight.
oh
Got it?
God. Yep. Yep. Your fun fact for today is if you have never seen the show Supernatural, you need to go watch the show Supernatural because the writers and the creators have so much fun being able to pull in real world things and put it into the show, like the entire episode that was about fan fiction and how they were doing Supernatural the musical. And this girl was writing fan fiction for Supernatural the musical. And Sam and Dean are just like, why would they put us together? Don't they know we're brothers? That's disgusting. And just all this stuff. So, fan fiction, Supernatural, go watch that episode.
That's your trivia.
Yeah, you sent me this 2.5 seconds before we start. Like we had the recording going, and I'm like, "Where's the script?" And you're like, "I just sent it to you."
I sent it before I hit record. And also, that's just kind of our norm now, so I expect you to be able to. And also, you knew the topic 2 weeks ago,
Listen,
so I don't want to hear it.
listen.
I'm
So,
listening.
anyways, that's our
I'm
main
listening.
topic. Um, you are the expert at this because you have written many, 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 many tens and tens of fan fictions
Yep, tens of tens.
and tens of tens, and you read a lot of fan fiction and you
Mhm.
judge, you critique, I should say. You don't judge.
I don't judge
Um,
it, no, but
yeah.
I do. Yes, I beta read for
Yes.
fanfic
Yeah.
writers, which is I offer critiques. So
Right.
yes, fanfic is something that I really enjoy both as a writer and a reader. And I think everybody should. And I'm going to use my platform here to make you also want to get involved with fanfic because it's wonderful.
Okay, before we get too far into it, fan fiction. So there is an existing story or an existing universe type thing that is out there. These are books that are written. These are then fans adding their own alternative endings or lore to these things, or
Anything. Yep.
whatever you have in these universes.
Yeah. The simplified definition is anything that uses an existing IP.
IP.
IP being intellectual property.
Okay, yep. So writing a fun story about Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or
Yep.
Supernatural or what have you.
Yep. Anything. Could be like, hey, I'm like you said, I'm going to rewrite the ending, or I'm going to, what if this episode did this instead, or what
Hmm.
if this character from this show met up with this character in this book and they went on an adventure in wherever. Anything like that counts as fan fiction. Um,
Sure.
I'm gonna break this apart into three segments.
Okay.
And the middle segment is kind of like the bridge between the two. But I'm going to start with the history of fan fiction
Okay.
because it's a lot older than people think it is.
Sure.
Really, all throughout history, IP, intellectual property, copyright, things like that haven't really been a thing. A lot of fiction was, one person would write and publish something, and then another author would come along and be like, "Oh yeah, that was really cool. I'm going to write a sequel to that."
Hmm.
And publish it, and that was totally fine. Like that was just something you would build on each other's works. You would I mean, think of all of the folklores and oral histories that, mythology and stuff. We don't think of that as fan fiction, but that really is the spirit of fan fiction.
Okay.
Collaborative work continuing on something that somebody else has already created or
So
worked toward.
then are variations of or adaptations fanfic?
If you look at the definition of fan fiction as anything that is a derivative work or transformative work based on an existing intellectual property, absolutely.
So the all these retellings of Bram Stoker's Dracula,
Yep, fan fiction.
those are all technically fanfic.
Hmm.
That is wild.
Hmm. The difference, and we're going to get into this in my second segment,
Hmm.
is copyright.
Sure.
So, but we'll get to that.
Okay. Any other points with your history of fanfic?
Well, I would encourage listeners, I'm encouraging you to kind of dig into the history of, building on works and writing things or responding to things that are not your original creation, because this is not a new concept.
Hmm.
Actually, the idea of, hey, I made these characters so they belong to me and nobody else can do anything with them, that's a very new concept in the world of literature as a whole.
Okay. So back in the day, it used to be you would publish these works and it kind of becomes public domain.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
It's not quite that simple, but
Okay. To simplify
like
it.
Shakespeare, tons of
Yeah.
Shakespeare's plays were derivative of plays that had already been published by other playwrights, which were derivative of plays that had already been published by other playwrights, and
Yeah.
so on and so on. So yeah, it's not a new concept, but the way that we look at it in the under the lens of copyright is a little bit newer.
Okay.
So, but even the term fan fiction is a lot older than a lot of people think. It was in print as early as 1938.
Interesting. I would have guessed somewhere between like 50 and 70.
Mm-mm.
38, that's a lot older.
38, yep. And it was mostly with the science fiction magazines in the US,
Okay.
and other places, but US especially. And it was kind of popularized, I guess, in like the mid 40s. There was a string of science fiction magazines that would
Hmm.
publish fan fiction, amateur science
So
fiction
people
writing that were
writing it.
submitted to these
Okay.
magazines, as opposed to professionally written and published works.
Sure.
But when it really became fan fiction that we think of today, we owe it to why I'm wearing my shirt,
Star
Star Trek.
Trek.
The
Okay.
ladies of Star Trek, because the audience that was watching Star Trek in the 60s was mostly women.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was very, very popular with women. It was actually kind of looked down on as like the show that the housewives watch.
Interesting.
hmm Which is why it's extremely frustrating when men try to gatekeep it now, because it's like, you don't know your history.
Here's a fun Star Trek trivia fact. It was the first interracial kiss on television.
Yes, and it wasn't supposed to be.
Yes, I know. They tried cutting it out and they did it anyways. William Shatner
hmm
was like, "Do it."
hmm
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
This
Before we
we
start going down that
no
rabbit
no
hole,
no
because I
no.
know
Let's go
you're
back
gonna.
to Star
No,
Trek.
no, no, no. Hey, what about Tolkien?
Yeah. So I am going back to Star Trek. I'm not done with that yet.
Okay.
So Star Trek, the fans, particularly the women fans of Star Trek, put together Star Trek fanzines where they wrote and published, like self-published, magazines, and they included fan art, they included,
Oh, okay.
you know, what we would nowadays we would call like meta-analysis of the shows and the episodes and the scripts
Okay.
and everything, along with fan fiction. They would produce them themselves, they would publish them themselves, they would mail them to each other. Some of
Wow.
the first conventions happened because the women said, "Hey, you know what? We should get together in one place and we can swap all of our fan fiction in one
You're
place."
kidding me.
Nope, not at all.
So like the I can't think of any of the cons.
Really,
Comic-Con.
the world, the fandom as we think of it today owes a lot of its existence to the women fans of Star Trek in
Wow.
the 60s. 100%.
I, that's actually pretty cool.
It is. It's really
Yeah.
cool. Especially since at that point, I'm trying to find my statistic here. All right, so this is from Wikipedia.
Hmm.
By 1970, 83% of Star Trek fanfiction authors were female. By 1973, 90% of fanfiction authors were female, which at at this point, like
Wow.
the early 70s, you think of science fiction, you do not think of women, right?
No, not at all.
But 90% of the women who are writing, of the people who were writing Star Trek fan fiction in the 70s were
We're
women.
women.
I think
Wow.
that's really cool.
That is cool.
So okay, that's my little history lesson. From there, like it evolved from there, obviously. Once the internet came around, it became a lot easier to share fan fiction.
Yep.
Instead of having to mail it physically, you would have email lists
Hmm.
where one or two moderators or a handful of moderators would be in charge of this list. You'd sign up and you'd get them maybe a chapter at a time, maybe a whole story at a time, depending on how it was set up. People started setting up their own personal websites to host their fan fiction. And then you
Sure.
got sites like LiveJournal and Wattpad and eventually fanfiction.net, which came
Okay.
along to host just fan fiction
Hmm.
and other serialized type. There was original writing on there too, but
Hmm.
really the majority of it was fan fiction, especially by the time you get to fanfiction.net, which came around in the late 90s.
Oh, okay. And I
Um,
mean, today you've got Discord and Reddit and various
no,
Facebook.
that's most of that is not where it's hosted. Most
Oh,
fan
really?
fiction nowadays gets put onto, some people still write for fanfiction.net, but most of it goes to AO3, Archive of Our Own,
Oh,
which has a really, really fascinating history that like we should do an episode just on AO3 because it's really interesting.
okay.
But essentially it was created as an internet archive because one of the reasons that fan fiction kind of gets a bad rap is because people hear fan fiction and they think, "Oh, well, you're just writing about, so and so hooking up with so and so," and it's
Smut.
just
Rachel, you can say it. Smut.
I'm trying to be Hi.
What? That word is fine.
That's of course when Mike would come downstairs.
Yeah, of course it is when it's into the spicy side of this
Yeah.
podcast.
Well, and a lot of that Star Trek fan fiction was Spirk.
Oh, because it was women.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Spock and Kirk.
Spock
Ew.
and Kirk. Yep. That was a
Okay,
big
I don't
percentage
get
of it.
why is there such a fascination in fanfic with shipping male characters together?
Okay, that's another thing we don't have time to get into. But the condensed version that I'm gonna go with is because the male characters are written with more depth in a lot of shows.
Okay, so
And
they
so
just have
there's
more to write about.
there's more to write about, there's more to dig into. Their
Okay.
relationships get more of the screen time. They have more chemistry because that's what the
Hmm.
focus of the show usually is. There's a lot more to it than that,
So,
but
so we're just gonna put two male characters together and bingo.
well, again, we don't have time to
Yeah,
go into
okay,
all this.
sure.
There's a lot more to it than that, but yes. So
You see it? Okay, so fan fiction has a bad rep because of that.
that's one of the reasons that, and because it's amateur. Like it's
Sure.
a lot of new writers, it's a lot of quote unquote bad writing.
So maybe it might be a way to get your start into writing. You start writing fanfic, you start building off these existing ideas that you don't necessarily have to generate yourself. It's all there.
Right.
The,
It
the
can be,
plots are
which
there.
we're going to talk about.
Okay.
But yes, so because a lot of fan fiction includes some uh ideas that
Spicy.
other people don't think is appropriate, there were campaigns to remove it from the internet, which,
Oh, good
removing
God.
something from the internet always
Okay.
works super well.
There are so many websites out there for much
I
more
know, I know,
graphic
I know.
things than reading and
But like a lot of these sites don't have, teenagers, kids
mhm.
can access these sites and can read whatever is there. So there
Okay,
were
to
concerns about like, there's
mm,
some really
yeah.
graphic stuff on here. So we should remove it instead of, hey, you should like verify what your kid is doing and whatever. It's,
Right.
remove it completely. So archive of our own came about as a way to archive the works that were being deleted from other places. There's more to it than
Mhm.
that, but that's basically.
Okay.
But a lot of people now who are posting and reading fan fiction, the majority of them go to AO3.
Okay. And how do you get to that? Is it
It's a
I,
website. You
I
go
know
to
how, well, what is the website?
archiveofourown.org.
Okay, so it's not AO3.com or whatever.
It's .org because it is a nonprofit.
Okay.
And actually, they do a lot of work with authors, with fanfic authors. And I am using the word author intentionally because
Mhm.
we'll get into that to help keep fan fiction legal,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
Because, and now here's where we get into copyright.
Hmm.
You cannot sell fan fiction.
Sure. It's
You
public
can't
domain.
sell, and no, it's not
Or
public domain. That's the problem.
yeah, okay. Sorry.
It is protected under copyright. You
Yeah.
cannot sell anything that is created using the intellectual property of another person.
Okay.
That's plagiarism.
Right.
So, a lot of authors, Anne Rice is a big one. She wrote the shoot, not Vampire
Vampire.
Diaries, the other one. Interview with a Vampire. What's that series? Interview with a Vampire. What's that series? You're not helping.
To
Um,
preface here, people, she was talking to her husband, not me.
it's no, it's not. Stop it.
Did you
Hold
just say
on.
smut?
Yeah,
Yes,
hang on.
Mike, it is.
Hang on. I can find this. Hang on. Mm,
Pause for
Vampire
research.
Chronicles.
There you go.
The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. She did not like people writing fan fiction about any of
Well,
her
and I
creations
was
at
I
all.
was gonna ask, like, how do some of these authors feel about this stuff?
They're split. People are
Sure,
people. Some of them say, yeah, this is awesome. You're going to basically give me free advertising for all of my work and talk about how great it is. Yeah, 100%.
sure.
And then other authors or creators, because this is, movies, TV, whatever,
Hmm.
like Anne Rice, say, you're stealing from me, knock it off or I'm going to sue you. And she did sue many people for
Oh.
copyright infringement, which is why, if you know your fandom history in the like 90s and early 2000s, a lot of fan fiction had disclaimers on them that said, I'm not the original creator. I don't own these characters. I'm not making any money off of this. This is just for fun.
Hmm.
The original creators are blah, blah, blah. You would have disclaimers on fan fiction.
Because she was suing everyone.
Well, not just her, but yeah, she was a big one.
Oh, okay. Others were also.
Yeah, Anne McCaffrey was a fantasy writer, was another one who was like, yeah, no, please don't.
Hmm.
Um, George R. R. Martin does not like fan fiction, strongly opposed to fan fiction, calls it copyright infringement, among other things. He's not very nice about it, but we know how
Well,
I feel about him, so I don't care.
okay. Finish your books, and then people don't have to do it for you.
Also, like, you based a ton of stuff on Tolkien, but anyway.
Oh, well, yeah. My favorite thing that I'm going to call fanfic, I don't necessarily, I mean, it basically is. I'm going to say it basically is fanfic, but the author of Fifty Shades of Grey.
100% Twilight fan fiction.
Yes.
That's, yeah, like,
Yeah.
that is a known fact.
Yeah. And I
Mhm.
think that's awesome.
Yeah. That's called scrubbing the serial numbers.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You take your fan fiction and then you change the names, change enough identifying details, and you publish it as an original work. Yeah, 100% that happens all the time.
Yeah. How did she feel about that?
Um,
Twilight's written by a woman, right?
Stephanie Meyer, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And she is in favor of fan fiction. She had on her website, I don't know if she still does this, but like when Twilight was big,
Hmm.
she actually had links to fanfics.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
like I said, some writers are like, yeah, 100%, this is awesome. Like, yay,
Yeah.
you like my stuff. Yay.
How does J.K. Rowling
Kind of back and forth.
back and forth? Okay, because I know that that has become an expansive world
Yeah,
that.
they're kind of toward the beginning. She said, "Yeah, go ahead. This is great. This is fun. We're all
Hmm.
whoo."
And then it got
Um,
big.
but then also she like sued a bunch of people for
Ah,
having, fan works and stuff. So it is a little more complicated than that, but that's
sure.
eh.
So here's a take, because obviously, well, maybe off of his estate, his son, maybe you could get this answer, but how do you think Tolkien would feel about
Okay,
fanfic?
so I've thought about this a lot. The Tolkien
God.
estate is
Okay.
very, very anti-fanfic, anti any transform. Like they have a statement on their website that says, "Don't use Elvish. It does not belong to you.
Wow.
Don't like if you're going to learn it, don't speak it, don't write in it. It is not yours." Like, yeah,
You can't speak it?
I cannot believe that Tolkien would ever
No.
tell people don't learn a language.
No.
Like I think, having read biographies about him, having read his letters that he wrote, especially about languages, I can't believe he would feel anything except joy and confusion over people wanting to learn his languages.
Sure.
So I feel like he would probably be mostly confused at first
Hmm.
in the sense of why wouldn't you just want to do your like if you want to tell a story, just tell a story,
Hmm.
Tell whatever story you want to tell. Why do you want to use my stuff? It's not, it's just my stuff. Your story, like that's what you should tell. I feel
Yeah.
like he would be, like that. But I also think he was so inspired by other works, mythology especially,
Big time. Yeah.
and history and
Oh
other,
my God. So it
poetry. And I really
is
feel like he would be in favor of fan fiction, but I think you would have to get through some philosophical discussion before you came to that realization.
okay. So because you said that, this just kind of blew my mind a little bit. Is Tolkien fanfic of mythology?
No, um, mythology is its own kind of weird little. Tolkien definitely used mythology to
Right.
build his works, but he changed almost all of it. Like you
Okay,
can
fair
tell that
enough.
it's there as a building block, but it's
Fair enough.
very, very different by the time it gets to his published work. You know what I mean?
Sure. Okay.
Maybe some of his earlier drafts might have been a little,
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
those are my
Okay,
personal
so
beliefs. That is not proven by any Tolkien estate. Don't come
right.
after me.
Oh God, no. Our tiny little podcast is gonna get shut down by this. Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on. Is there anything else you wanted to say about AO3?
No, I want to spend the rest of my limited time here talking about why fan fiction is awesome and why all writers should write it.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with the most obvious and the one that gets the reason that gets skipped over by the most people. It's
Hmm.
fun.
Sure.
It is so much fun. It's fun to play with. It's fun to dig deeper into, you have these character interactions that only get 5 minutes on screen, and you're like, no, but
Sure.
I want more of that.
Right. Yeah.
And playing with that is a lot of fun. With fan fiction, your audience already has, you assume anyway, an understanding of the world, the characters, the backstories. You don't have to
Sure.
devote any page
You,
space.
you can literally just jump right into the
You can
story.
jump right into the story. You don't have to set it up, and you can just dig so much deeper into things that you can't do with original work because you have to establish all those other things.
Right.
So that's my one reason. It's a ton of fun to play with. My second reason is kind of what you were saying before. It's a really great place to practice and to
Hmm.
learn in a very
Hmm.
low stakes environment.
Sure. Absolutely.
Because,
You write a fanfic and you post it and nobody likes it. Okay.
right,
Yeah. No,
it is
no
what
harm,
it
no
is.
foul.
Okay.
You have no money stuck into it. You have no, all the rejection letters from editors and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
You maybe get negative comments, but
Yeah, but more and more lately, there have been more negative comments, but most of those are bots. The really nice thing about a lot of fan fiction is it's a great place to get constructive criticism that really
sure.
is constructive. Like
Yeah.
fanfic readers want more stories.
Yeah.
And the best way to get more stories is to tell people writing the stories, hey, I really liked this thing. This thing didn't
Yeah.
really work for me. Maybe try this. This part was a little confusing. Maybe next time you could clarify this, but this part, I really like that. Can you give me more of that? It's a
Well,
really great place to build your confidence. It's a
hmm
really great place to learn and to
hmm
practice and when you're reading other fan fiction, you can get that too.
hmm
Because there's a lot of really, really good fan fiction out there.
Well, obviously, so much so that 50 Shades of Grey became a thing, and look how huge that
Oh,
got.
I don't know that I would call that good writing, but there's
Okay,
really,
but
really good writing
you
out there.
understand what I'm saying with that.
Yes,
Yeah, okay. And I mean, to think about it as, your favorite show, Firefly,
it's not
got
my favorite
canceled.
show, but
Well,
okay.
whatever. I'm just saying, you as in the proverbial
Sure.
you. Firefly got canceled after one season. I don't know this, but I can pretty much guarantee there's hundreds of fanfics of,
Thousands,
yeah, a
thousands of
Firefly out
Firefly
there.
fan. Yeah.
That's so great to be able to continue to get the story even after it was canceled. And
Yeah.
you can't go to the show writers to get this. So having the fanfics out there, and that just, yeah, you have the opportunity to tell the author, hey, I would have liked to have seen this happen. And then they write it.
Right. And I mean, there's a ton of different events and things with fan fiction where you have,
Mhm.
so and so gives you a prompt, and then I'm going to write a story about, like it's very
You've,
collaborative.
yeah, you've done that.
Yeah. Which is my third point. Okay. He started laughing, but he's got his headphones and he's watching his phone, so
Oh.
he wasn't laughing at me. I'm like, this is a really heartfelt thing here. What do you No. Okay.
Okay.
Fan fiction is a really deep collaborative thing. It's viewers or readers, whatever, it's the audience connecting with the creators and saying, I love this thing that you made so much that I want to make something like it.
Hmm.
And then you connect with other fans who love this thing so much that they want to create something like it and they want to read the thing that you created about it.
Hmm.
And eventually it gets to the point where, yeah, okay, this fan fiction is about this show, But really, it's about my friend that I've never met in person is having a really bad day. And I know she's going through a lot right now. And I just want to write something that will cheer her up. So I'm going to use these characters
Oh,
that we both love. And I'm going to write just a short little, 3-page thing. And I'm going to send it to her. And I know it's going to make her smile. And, it turns into something like that. And you form a community and you're using stories to connect to other people, which is the whole point of stories.
that's incredible.
It
Honestly,
is.
that is amazing. And in today's world when there's just so much negativity, especially on the internet, especially on social media, everything is just so negative. Being able to have something like that that is just pure
Yeah.
is incredible.
And I mean,
That's
don't get me
awesome.
wrong, there's a lot of negativity in fandom too, but
For sure.
I'm going to end with a short little mini story because I write fan fiction and I post it on AO3. And I wrote a story and I had a reader comment and say, um, I have a chronic
Hmm.
illness. I am in constant pain. It never goes away. And today, well, this week was really, really bad.
Hmm.
It was a bad week. And I found this story and I read all of it in one sitting. This was 50,000 words. This is a
Wow.
novel-sized story. She read it in one sitting and she's like, it made me feel better. It made me physically feel better because I was completely taken into the story. I forgot my problems for a little while. Thank you for writing this.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing. Like, that's the power of stories. And fan fiction makes that possible because I didn't have to spend 50,000 words setting
Building
up
of
a
the
story. I
story.
could just dig
Yeah.
into, look, these are the characters, this is the situation. Let's have fun with it.
Wow. That's incredible.
So
And I'm sure
go write fanfics.
you cried like a baby when you read that.
I literally saved that comment and like I look at it every time I'm feeling down
Oh,
about things. But like that's the other point. Like,
yeah.
she connected to my story. She
Hmm.
shared that comment with me and I look at that comment frequently. Like I got that
Hmm.
comment months ago and I still go back and look at it and, it
Wow.
motivates me. So like
Yeah.
it's get the connection, the community, like it's a good thing. Go write fan
Yeah.
fiction. Go read fan fiction. It's awesome.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that being said, we are probably going to do another episode about this at some point.
Yes.
But we should move on to the word of the day.
Word of the day.
Yeah.
And this has another meaning, but I'm going to go with the fan fiction related meaning.
Jeez. Okay.
Mary Sue. Have you
Mary
heard this
Sue.
term?
No.
Okay, it really is kind of more of a fanfic specific thing.
Okay.
A Mary Sue is a type of, I'm reading this from etymonline.com now,
Hmm.
a type of ludicrously idealized fictional character, originally in fan fiction, based on Star Trek, from a character in the 1973 parody story, A Trekkie's Tale.
Okay.
But basically, it refers to any character that is like, too perfect, like the
Oh,
character
okay.
that can do no wrong,
Sure.
always does the right thing. Everybody, usually female, but the male version of this is Gary Stu.
Mary Stu and
Mary
Mary
Sue,
Sue,
Gary Stu.
Gary Stu. Wow.
So, they don't lose any fights.
Hmm.
They're not pretty, but all of the boys are in love with them. Like that's a Mary Sue character
Huh.
or a Gary Stu.
Or Gary Stu. All right.
So,
I like that.
yep. All
Anything
right,
else?
we're running out of time, so we gotta.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. This is your
That's wrong.
episode,
I'm not
basically.
sorry.
No, yeah, you're
I would
not
do it
sorry.
again.
Absolutely. All right. If you enjoyed the show today, make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. Share with your friends or someone who needs to learn some grammar. You can also sign up for Rachel's editing newsletter at rosedeanediting.com. That's ROSEDENE editing.com to get your free 7 steps to line editing checklist.
And other writing freebies because I still haven't updated that. But I am also
Right.
offering a free first page edit through my line edits in action series. You can sign up at my website and you'll be entered into a weekly drawing for he's laughing again like he's losing it. Um, you'll be entered into a weekly drawing for a free line
Editing.
edit of your opening page.
All right. And join us next week as we dive into building a writing routine, which structure and rules and all that stuff.
Like a schedule. Like
Sure.
how do
Sure.
you build a writing routine when you don't have time to write? That's basically what I'm going to talk.
Ah, yeah. Your social media has been full of a lot of that kind of stuff lately,
Yeah,
which is
because that
good.
is my life right now.
Right. Okay. Remember, words are hard.
Ha, right. We're here to help.
Go home. You're drunk.
I'm home and I'm not drunk. I haven't even had half of this.
What is it?
DTB, Brown Ale, Pearl Street
TT.
Brewery.
Oh, Pearl Street. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, doodle-doodle-doo. End the podcast.
Hey, you know who is in favor of fan fiction? Dean Devlin.
Oh, yeah. That's the guy you have written to, or he's written
Uh,
back or something.
well, like on social media, he's liked some
Yeah,
of my
yeah.
comments and things, and
Ah,
he's
yeah,
answered
makes
some
sense.
questions that I had.
Yeah.
But yeah, creator of Leverage, but also had a hand in Stargate,
No.
if we're talking nerddom, and tying back to Star Trek. His mom was in Star Trek in the original.
Oh no, we're out of
Shut up.
time.
Cool. You have no
Okay.
idea what a big influence Star Trek had on like
Everything.
history.
Yeah. No, I did.
And I
Okay.
could talk about Nichelle Nichols like forever. Uhura, the actress
Oh,
who played
okay.
Uhura, like,
Yeah.
man, she was awesome.
All right. Goodbye.
You keep trying to get me to turn it off, but I control it, so
I can just exit and
you
just
can.
leave.
Go ahead. I've noticed that you haven't.
Dang.
Good try. Good try.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye.